beauty of it all. Just look at that. Sorry. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, as always, welcome back. If you're new, then welcome to the family. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do my macaroni and cheese from start to finish. As always, I'd like to just say this is how I do things. If you want to add or take away something, or you want to do it slightly different, that's totally up to you. My videos are here solely for the purpose of just giving a bit of direction as to how things are done, give you some measurements so you can't go wrong with the core ingredients. So that's it, but you're free to do it how you want. And another thing, I didn't use elbow macaroni in this video or the other one because I personally don't like cooking with it. I like spiral pasta better. So if you want to stick to it and make it the hardcore macaroni and cheese and use elbow macaroni, perfect, well done, A star for you. For me, I like spiral pasta, so that's what I use. But you're more than welcome, like I said, to do that if you so wish to. So I've got here my butter in the pot. I'm just gonna melt that down. Whilst that's melting down, I'm gonna add my seasonings that I'm gonna use today. The seasonings that I'm using is totally optional. You don't have to add everything. You don't have to add anything that I've used. You can use onion powder, you can use garlic powder, paprika, mixed spice. You can add whatever you like. I know there's people that add cinnamon to their mac and cheese. If that is your vibe, go for it, please. But today I'm going to show you how I do things. So I'm just going to use some table salt. You can use whatever salt you want. You don't have to. I'm going in with a little bit, literally a pinch of table salt, just because I'm using salted butter. So you don't want to add too much salt anyway. I'm going to go in with about half a teaspoon of black pepper. That's ground black pepper. We're going to put a little bit more on top once that's done. So just bear that in mind if you don't like your food really spicy. Just turn that down so it don't make too much sauce. I'm using the Dunn's River all-purpose seasoning. And I'm going to go in again with about a half teaspoon of that. I'm going to use a bit of ground ginger. You can use whatever brand ground ginger you would like if you want to add ground ginger. I'm literally just going to put a pinch in there, just like the salt. It's just to add with the depth of flavour. I'm going to be adding some paprika. You can use smoked paprika, normal paprika, from whatever shop you can get it from. That's up to you. Again, just a sprinkle to add to the depth of flavour. Nothing too major at all. And I'm cooking for children as well, so the level of spice that I would use would be totally different if you don't have children and if you like spicy food. So just bear that in mind, guys, okay? Then I'm going to go in with about a teaspoon of parsley. Guys, if you know me, you know I'll probably put in more than a teaspoon, but this is alright. Alright, I'll behave myself today. I'll just put a teaspoon. There you go. But I'm going to put more on the top. So we're just going to turn that back up and let it melt down nicely. You're going to need to have your whisk at the ready, because if you've seen my previous video for how to make a white sauce, I will link it again so you can have exact measurements for the butter, for the flour and all of that, milk, everything. You'll have the exact measurements for that, so I'll link it below. Now just need to be mixing it. At this point you don't have to use the whisk to mix the butter as it's melting with the spices. You literally just need to have something at hand to mix it. The next bit you will need the whisk. And somebody asked me before why I melt my butter with my spices. It's simply because if you add the flavour to the butter from the base of the sauce, it helps it to distribute right throughout. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm just putting the spices and stuff in the butter so it can do its thing. Right, so that's melted down nicely. I'm just going to add flour to it gradually. Make sure you keep it on a low heat, guys, okay, so that it doesn't burn whilst you're trying to do everything. So I'm just pouring directly from my container, and you really do want to be using the whisk and getting this all mixed in and incorporated properly as you go along. Just add a bit at a time. If you watch my other video and you want to do it by measurements but you don't have anything to do those measurements, that's fine. You can do it how I'm doing it today, and I'm doing it to eye. So I'm just going to keep adding a little bit at a time of the flour until it starts to form into like dough balls, if that makes sense. I don't know if that is ringing a bell to anyone, but you just want to make sure that everything is mixed in and it's starting to form little dough balls, at which point you start adding your milk. So you can do it by eye, or if you want to make sure that you're doing it properly, if you're not too you know, confident with everything in the kitchen, then you can use the measurements from my other video, no problem. So it's getting there now. You can start adding your milk at this stage, however I'm going to put a little bit more flour in there. You don't want to add too much flour as well, because you don't want it to taste too much like flour. So you just want to do a bit at a time, so you don't do flour overkill. And make sure you have a sensible whisk, guys. I don't know why I have not yet gone and replaced this whisk with another one, because it gives me hassle. Like, I mean hassle. Just cover the flour container. So I'm finished with it now. So this is literally what I'm talking about. That's basically what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to start adding my milk in gradually. Whilst you're adding the milk, you want to be mixing consistently, otherwise it will start sticking to the bottom of the pan, it will burn, it will do all of that good stuff. So we're trying to avoid that. And I'm just using normal whole milk from the shop. You can use the milk that you prefer. I know some people use semi-skim, some people use almond milk, oat milk, you name it. There's so many out there nowadays. Just do what makes you happy. Sorry about the noise, my children. They're having their bath time. Right, I'm gonna add some more milk to this.
Are you sure I am?
So sorry guys, I'm literally so sorry about this. Alright, so I'm just going to keep adding milk and mixing this in, and then I'll come back to you guys once I'm ready with it. Alright guys, so I've literally just continued to add milk and whisk off camera. Nothing special done here. So as you can see, it's nice and glossy, and I've added more milk than I needed, simply because if the sauce is too thick to begin with, once you add the cheese, you will not be able to stir the sauce, and it will just literally become a big glob in your tray of mac and cheese. So you want to make sure that the sauce is nice and light and liquidy, not literally like water consistency, but light enough so when you add your cheese, it is just still nice and flavory in your mac and cheese. It will thicken up as it's cooking in the oven, by the way, so just to warn you. Right, so to this I've got some mild cheddar. The reason why I add mild cheddar is not for flavour, it's literally to just help to make the sauce nice and smooth and creamy. Obviously it's your choice if you want to add it or not, that's up to you, but for me I like to add it because, like I said, to make the sauce nice and creamy. Right, so just mix that all in and it will melt out as it goes along. Right, over here I've got some mature cheddar and red Leicester. I'm going to go in with those. Oh yeah, I've left some of the cheese, by the way, for the top of the macaroni and cheese. So later on I can put that on the top of it and make it nice and cheesy. The red Leicester and the mature cheddar just add to the depth of flavour. And guys, if you put in too much cheese for how thick you'd like your sauce to be, don't stress, don't cry, don't break down in the kitchen. I know people do that all the time. You literally just need to add just a little bit more milk at a time to just loosen it up. Obviously do it bit by bit because you can always add more but you can't take away from it, so bear that in mind. Right, so we're just going to let that do its thing, and then I'm going to add some grated mozzarella cheese. If I can open the packet. So that's the one I'm using today. I do wash off all of my packaging, by the way, my outer packaging, so it's fine. I'm just going to add a little bit into the sauce. Reason being is mozzarella cheese is really stretchy and it doesn't play nicely in the cheese sauce, okay? If you put too much in there, it's just going to get stretchy and thick and horrible, and you won't be able to mix, you won't be able to do anything. So what I actually do, you will see later on. So guys, I'm just going to let this melt down and keep mixing, and then I'll come back once my sauce is ready to go. Okay guys, so cheese sauce is done. You can see it is looking beautiful, okay? Smelling beautiful too. So it's still on a low heat. What I'm going to do is my pasta that I cooked earlier, I'm just going to add it in to the cheese sauce. It's on the heat. Like I said guys, I did not use all the macaroni. Personal preference, if you want to use it, then please, by all means, feel free to do that. Like, love it. Do things properly. So I'm just going to mix the sauce in. And look at how stretchy. Ooh, oh gosh. Let me throw away my food. Okay. Okay. It's so nice and stretchy and creamy at the same time. Like, guys, are you seeing this? Like, are you seeing this? And I'm going to add more mozzarella to that. Like, yes. Right, so I'm gonna clean up this mess now because it is bothering the jar. Alright guys, so that is nice and mixed in. So I'm going to put that in the tray. So I'm going to turn off the stove now. Try. And then I'm going to transfer over the oven tray. And I'm just going to pour out the mac and cheese into this tray. Spread it out nice and even, and then you want to get this pot with the sauce literally into the sink with some water in it straight away, because otherwise the cheese is going to seize up and you're going to have a field day trying to clean it out. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt to wear it, and trust me, I don't want you to have one to wear it. So just washing my hands, guys. Right, so I'm gonna spread this out. And this next bit is optional. I know some people just like to go in with their cheese. Some people do the breadcrumbs. Me personally, I do a bit of both because that's what I like. So I'm going to go in with some golden breadcrumbs. You can use natural breadcrumbs, golden breadcrumbs. You can get them from any supermarket, and most off-license now sells them. So, you know, you can get them wherever. You can buy it on Amazon as well if you're an Amazon shopaholic like myself. That's it really. So I'm just going to sprinkle on these breadcrumbs. I'm doing a light coating of it. If you want the top of your mac and cheese crunchy, by all means go in with more, do a really thick layer, but today I'm feeling like I just want a light coating of it. Then I'm going to go in again with my black pepper. I'm just going to sprinkle a light amount over it. If you have not got the control to sprinkle lightly over your food without basically getting a big old blob of black pepper on it, just put some on a saucer or a bowl or something, get in your fingertips and just sprinkle it out. Nobody's gonna know, don't worry. Me again with my favorite ingredient, parsley. So I'm just gonna again do a light coating of parsley over the top of my mac and cheese, not too much. You can use whatever herb you want. If you don't want to use parsley, it's up to you. You can use rosemary for all I care. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with the rest of that mild cheddar. Just going to sprinkle it over. Make sure everywhere gets a little bit of it. And then I'm going to go in with the red Leicester and mature cheddar. Red Leicester. This guy's literally just spreading the cheese everywhere. Well, it's optional anyway. Like I said, the cheeses that you use, up to you. If you don't want to use as much cheese as I have, that is totally up to you as well. Obviously also the herbs and spices, you know, totally up to you. It's your food, you customize it how you want. Sorry guys, I just sneezed, sorry. Right, so usually I'll do a smaller dish that's higher, and then I'll just pile the mac and cheese. So I'd usually do one layer and then sprinkle mozzarella in between, and then do another layer and sprinkle it again. However, today I'm just going to go in with it on the top. So just bear that in mind. If you want to have that nice stretchy mac and cheese that just literally looks like a blessing on a plate, then you literally need to sprinkle the mozzarella cheese in between the layers, and you can add other extra cheese as well, but it is the mozzarella that gives it that stretch. Okay, so guys, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in the oven to bake. You just want to keep an eye on it really, because depending on the type of oven you're using, gas, fan, you know, and how well your oven works. I know some people's oven, you literally put in 5 minutes, it's done out. Others, it could be there for 20-30 minutes. So depending on your oven, just keep an eye on it and see what it's like, and then you just take it out when it's nice and golden brown on the top. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to put it in on 180, and my one is a fan oven. So I'll put that in for about 10 minutes on 180, check on it, and then I'll go back and see if it needs more time. So I'll see you then, guys. So it's been 15 minutes on 180 degrees in the oven. Make sure you preheat your oven. I forgot to say, but guys, Can I please just have a look at that beauty? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tuck in. Like, honestly, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Okay, but guys, I can't even talk. It is just smelling and looking so beautiful, so beautiful. I'm actually gonna dig into it and let y'all see just the beauty of it all. Just look at that sorry. Oh my gosh, it is just okay. I can't, like, I really can't. It's just creamy. Let me just take out some of the pasta. Look at that, it's still creamy, but it's nice sauce, and you can see the cheese on there. Guys, I'm ready to eat. Like, I can't even talk. But guys, literally that is how you make mac and cheese from scratch. Obviously with the exceptions that I said to you, you can choose your own herbs and spices to go in. I'm excited to eat this now. I'm excited for you guys to eat yours, because I've been making this for years, and trust me, once you make it this way, you never go back. It's just some days I have my lazy days where I can't even say lazy days really, because I've got 3 young babies with a massive house, wash, cook, clean, all the 10 yards, and some days it has to be a dolmia sauce, add your cheese and go. Okay, don't judge me. So yeah, but guys, trust me, this recipe is bulletproof. It's absolute, and you will love it if you try it. Enjoy it, guys. Don't forget to like this video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to contact us, as always, I'll link the socials below. I will also link the other video for making the sauce, the white sauce, which will have all the detailed measurements and everything. And as always, guys, thank you for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.